I'm going to show you how history repeats itself. In January 2023, the governor of Florida blocked the introduction of a new level high school course that teaches African American history. He says that it lacks educational value and is contrary to Florida law. After much backlash and uproar, he says, "No, you misunderstand me. We need African American history, but we just need to focus on the triumphs and the plights of African Americans." Now, this doesn't make sense to me because how can you talk about the triumphs but not talk about what they had to overcome to get these triumphs? Now, we all know what this is. This is just another way to control the narrative of who we are as African Americans by telling us complete lies and shielding others from the struggles that we had to go through. And unfortunately, it keeps us divided as African Americans. Why? Because there is strength in numbers. Now, does any of this sound familiar? Let's travel back to the 1800s, shall we? Back in the 1800s, when Black people used to gather together to have their meetings, aka church, there was always the slave master there. A slave owner would come to these meetings and sit next to the pastor or the preacher to make sure that the preacher was speaking only out of the Bible and not telling the congregation about their African spiritual practices. This was another way to control the narrative to making sure that the enslaved stay enslaved, and some of us are still enslaved mentally today. Africans were told that their African spiritual practices were bad and evil, and everything that comes out of the Bible was good. Doing so kept the slaves weak-minded and divided. And that is how history has repeated itself.